You're just moments away from a brand new episode of WTF Nations Radio's Pop Culture Warrior, hosted by the dynamic duo CQ and Radar. Pop Culture Warrior is your #1 source for all things entertainment. If it's happening in TV, movies, video games, or comedy, they're all over it. And don't forget to say hi in the comments below. And while you're at it, let the boys know what you think and what you'd like to hear them talk about. Now strap in and get comfortable, because you're in for one hell of a ride. This is Pop Culture Warrior. Shots.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Welcome one and all. Today is March the 2nd, 2021. This is episode 47 of Pop Culture Warrior, the show where I stay up to date on all the ins and outs of what's happening in pop culture so you don't have to. I'm CQ. I'm your pop culture diversion, and with me as always is our very own Sideshow Bob, the man in the bubble, the voice of the unpop cultured, Mr. Radar. What's up?
What's up, man?
How you doing, buddy? How you doing?
I'm fucking awesome. I'm still on cloud nine about our guest who may actually come on.
Shh, you're not supposed to talk about that
that's
yet.
all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
You're letting the cat out of the bag early, man. We got that's
nope, cat in the bag.
That's on the DL. It hasn't happened yet. We're in talks. We're in negotiations. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for joining us tonight. We have a very special, different kind of episode for you. I mean, we're going to start out like we normally do. We're going to talk some pop culture headlines, what we think about what's going on. But then instead of rolling into hour 2, as we usually would do, we're going to do things a little bit differently tonight. I got invited to an Instagram live show. Seth Herzog, who, while may not be a super well-known name in the comedy world, I mean, not all over Netflix and movies and things like that, but is a professional comic who tours New York and around the country. Hilarious dude. Has done USO tours. He's like the front man for I think it's the what's the Jimmy Fallon late night show. He's like the opening comedian when they do their recording. So the guy's a legit comedian. He asked me to be on his show tonight. So at 9:00 Eastern, 1 hour from now, we're gonna cut this feed. I'm gonna jump over to Instagram Live. If you guys want to watch that, we're gonna be doing it live. You can ask questions, tune in, participate. It's gonna be Seth Herzog on Instagram Live. We'll throw it up in the chats and everything so you guys can find it. But yeah, that'll be a little bit different than usual. And it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. And we're doing a what would you call it? Not like a Freaky Friday. We're doing a swap. We're doing a show swap. So I'll be jumping over to his show this week, and then sometime soon in the future he'll jump over here, and we'll give him the real pop culture warrior grilling the interview to end all interviews as we are one to do for our guests. But that being said, it is Tuesday night. Things have happened this week. I first and foremost, I gotta ask you, what'd you think of the last episode of WandaVision?
Fucking intense. It almost made me like a little sad.
Did it crack that hard outer shell? Did a morsel of emotion got in there? No.
It didn't crack nothing.
Little dent. It left
I'm not even saying a dent. It's like a chip of paint. No, it was. I mean, it just, I don't know. Like, you can feel for somebody when you almost kind of feel like she was being attacked.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
And she kind of needed it. Deserves it maybe a little bit, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it was very fascinating, right? Because for so long we're like, Agnes is behind it, and then we got that big reveal 2 weeks ago where it was like, it was Agatha all along, and like I was like, yes, she is. And then this week we get like a wait. Although she's been up to shenanigans, she's not really behind it, right?
No, she's kind of been reconning.
Yeah, she's trying to work through it and peel back the onion. Now, while I don't think she's the hero, and I don't necessarily think she's the villain, although they're a little heavy-handedly trying to show the villain thing, holding the kids hostage and things like that. I think there's more to it.
Too. Well, in the comics, she's kind of Wanda's like
mentor. Yeah. So
and she kind of did that this episode. She
helped her through. Yeah, she kind of helped her process through the grief. Kind of forced her to experience it and not hide from it. So yeah, it's kind
of explaining her magic to her. You know what I mean? Like, she is kind of. I got the feeling that Agatha she obviously studies magic and everything.
Obviously,
and has been doing it for considerably longer than Wanda, and I almost got like a jealous tint.
Only by like 6 or 7 generations, though. Just barely longer than Wanda. First question of the night. Mike Larson says, "What you sipping on tonight, Mr. Radar?"
It's Diet Mountain Dew. It's literally it's nothing exciting. It's
hey, we're not sponsoring them. Don't show the logo.
Just saying.
We don't get free advertising here on this show.
I mean,
You crazy?
Unless, I mean, I might wear an AT&T shirt, but.
Uh,
But anyway, I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
okay, back to the story though. I also kind of feel as though I don't think she's like the real villain in this,
Mhm.
and so this could go a couple different ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
We could have, because the finale is on Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and is it going to be an hour? Did they say so?
It's supposed to be the longest episode of the season, like at like 53 minutes or something like that.
So close enough to an hour.
Yeah.
Just shot an hour. Do you think it's going to be Vision v White Vision?
So,
or do you think we're going to get introduced to a whole new character, or do you think that
Mephisto?
Yeah, do you think Mephisto's going to be it, or there's a whole lot of villains that could be coming up?
There's so many. I read an interesting theory in that. So when she's in like the Salem witch trials at the beginning, they're attacking her with this blue magic, and then like it doesn't seem to be under her control, but she starts to light up red, and blue and red make purple, right? It's kind of what happens. And there's some theories that say, the darker magic is like red, and it's showcased by like Doctor Strange and stuff. Like the dark magic is red, and that's why her dark magic versus their like blue pure magic made this kind of purple magic. But it also showed like, what was it, Dormammu in Doctor Strange, who was like this evil dark dimension thing, was purple. So that could be like, it could be she's connected to that. I mean, there's so many theories about what she could be dabbling in or how that's going to play in. I do think they've set up an interesting dynamic in that you're going to have witch versus witch, right? Then you're going to have real white vision versus fake real vision, if that makes sense. Like the wrong vision versus the wrong right vision, if that makes sense.
But okay, couple things on the white vision thing,
mm-hmm.
right? I don't know that he is the reanimated all of the parts that were on the
mm-hmm.
the floor, right?
Sure.
This vision, white vision that they have coming up, right, doesn't have the hole in his head where
sure.
Thanos like the stone. So it's
sure.
got to be at least a different face, right? And if not a whole different, maybe like they just like copied it to make white. Okay. When in the episode where when she creates Vision,
mm-hmm.
her magic wasn't red, it was yellow.
Right, it turned yellow. Yep.
Turned yellow. So did she create the stone? Recreate everything about him, and that's why he's been autonomous and not like she actually created a new vision.
Right.
Well,
it's a vision that can't
not just a fucking
a copy of it.
Not a puppet, not a copy, but actually recreate. I mean, she created her children.
Yeah,
right?
That's the thing. She's created from nothing. It's chaos magic. It's spontaneous creation. So she did create a version of Vision that does have a version of the Infinity Stone. Now the question is, could it be removed and be used as an Infinity Stone? Probably not outside the Hex, because we saw what happened to Vision as he tried to leave the Hex. He started falling apart. Same would probably happen to the stone eventually. But within that reality.
But okay, her magic was keeping him in the Hex, not letting. She has not let anybody out of the Hex except for people she has personally expelled, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if she, for lack of a better term, snaps her fingers and stops the magic that stops the Hex, right?
Right.
And brings everything down, will Vision stay alive, or will he die, or will he just fade away?
I honestly think that
because whatever happens to him kind of has to happen to the kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just she created them in the same way,
right?
Essentially. So whatever happened, you can't have like Vision go on and the kids not, or vice versa.
True. I think
whatever happens to one has to happen to the other.
I do think that Vision won't be around, and while I do think the kids will be around, which I know is very confusing, I think Vision's gonna fight Vision and has to basically sacrifice himself to destroy himself, and in that way, making sure he doesn't stand around, whether or not it succeeds. And we have the White Vision, and that was a whole storyline in the comic books. They might go down. I don't know. We haven't really.
Well, but at the end of that, don't they kind of put his consciousness into the White Vision and kind of recreate him in a way?
In a way, yes, but that was a very long and complicated process, because even Vision's in the comic books, it's weird because Vision's consciousness is not even his own consciousness; it's a copy of Wonder Man. So
yeah,
it's a whole.
But
thing.
I'm just saying, like there's ways there's previous ways that they have made him survive.
Yeah, they can easily fold the consciousness of this fake reality version into the physical body of the thing and live happily after. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think tragedy is going to be at the end of this. I think it's going to be bad, and that's what's going to lead things to be breaking down within the MCU over the next couple movies. I think her kids will be, so to speak, snapped out of existence, and that's going to, and then she's going to lose Vision again, and that's going to send her down this, we've seen her grief already. Now imagine losing her kids on top of it, even though she's only had kids for like 3 days.
Yeah, right. That's weird as fuck. Yeah. But anyway, but other way to look at, I'm not saying there has to be some sort of battle, some sort of fight. It's fucking Marvel. And some sort of tragedy. There has to be some sort of loss. But it could also be very much just setting the stage for the next movie.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Because we know Doctor Strange and Wanda are in the next one, right?
Yes, Wanda is in the next.
Maybe this
Doctor
is just
Strange.
kind of. I mean, this could very easily they could just if only an hour, right? 53 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. You don't really have time for the big introducing a character and setting it up and then a battle.
Or let's say introducing the mutant universe.
Yeah, exactly.
Too late for that.
But even if they send White Vision in right now, right? They have to give some sort of even if it's like a 5-minute fucking this is White Vision. We're gonna send this guy in. We're gonna kill them all. Whatever. They still have to do that a little bit, right? Yeah. And then the battle, and then whatever the consequences of this battle are.
Mm-hmm. You have to tease what's coming down the road. Yeah.
And then I don't know if Doctor Strange is going to fly in and be like, whoa, spin his little shits around and then make everything different or fix it or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. But this could be just setting the stage for the next film, introducing all of the characters, introducing the villain. I think there's a bigger villain yet to come out, and I don't even think it's White Vision. I think it's bigger than that.
Yeah, you're on board with the Mephisto, the Nightmare, one of those
something like that. That's actually
Dormammu.
Because there's too many coincidences in this whole okay, well, so she got this deed from fucking the Will or whatever to this place in Westview that's a rundown little shithole town that just happens to be right next to some witch's fucking lair basement.
Well, she showed up, and I don't think that was there prior. I think she showed up and then made it her own. I think you're right though. I think the big kind of FU moment, I like to call it, is going to be, we're going to resolve this, right? There's going to be the witch versus witch conflict. There's going to be the Vision versus Vision conflict. There's going to be the Sword proper versus this now Splinter Cell of Sword kind of battling back and forth. And when all the dust settles, it's going to seem like a happy ending. And then, boom, they drop the hammer. Like you said, maybe big reveal, Mephisto shows up, or Dormammu somebody, Nightmare shows up and was like, it was me all along, like the real version. And then basically
he comes down, Doctor Strange is going to come in spinning his little fucking handy hand around, and then fucking
boom, roll credits.
They're going to hit the ground and square up to each other, and then it's going to fucking fade to black, and that's going to be the precursor for the film. When is that film supposed to drop?
It's currently, I think it's about to start filming, because they're filming Spider-Man right now. And then once Spider-Man wraps up, then they start shooting or they're in pre-production for Doctor Strange now, so they'll start shooting in the next couple weeks. So that releases, I believe, November, if I remember correctly.
I just Googled it.
Yeah.
Release date March 25th, 2022.
Okay, so I got pushed back from November. So, oh, that's right. Spider-Man took the holiday season, and then Doctor Strange got pushed back to March. Yep, you're right. So, a year from now, we'll be seeing Doctor Strange. And Wanda return. Mike says, big surprise. Professor Xavier rolls out at the end. Is like, surprise, bitches. Professor X. That's Radar's dream. He's still vying for that X-Men cameo. And he says we're forgetting about Doctor Doom. I do think Doctor Doom is coming, but it's not time yet for that. That will be down the road. I definitely think because they've already announced a Fantastic Four movie that's coming, so you can't have the FF without Doctor Doom. You just can't. So he'll definitely be part of that. But now that we've gotten that out of the way, I am very excited. We're gonna see the Friday episode, and that'll wrap that up. There'll be for those watching, there'll be the Friday episode, which is the finale. I think there's like a 1 week break, and then Falcon and Winter Soldier pick up. And then in that 1 week break too, I think they're gonna release like an episode. They're starting a new series that's like a behind the scenes series of the series. So the episode that'll be released between WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier will be an episode on the making of WandaVision. So yeah. Hey Anna, we see you there. Hi, thanks for stopping by. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool, man. It's gonna be pretty cool. So you ready for some more up to the minute news here? Because I got some interesting stuff for you.
What do you got?
All right. So last week we were talking about, I don't remember if you remember this, we were talking about Paramount Plus, the streaming service, and how we kind of forgot about it.
Like everyone fucking did.
kind of forgot about it. Sorry about it.
We didn't kind of forget about it. We did forget about it, same as everybody else.
So for the life of me, I was like, I got to dig into this. I got to understand what it is they're doing besides being a Disney Plus knockoff, because they literally called it Paramount Plus.
Just
apparently, I did not. Do you remember they had CBS All Access? Remember that?
Oh, yeah, for like 10 minutes. Yeah. I remember that.
Well, it's still there. But Paramount Plus is CBS All Access. It's just a rebranding. They're rebranding it because, it's owned by the parent company. It's like CBS, Viacom, CBS, or whatever it is, the big company. So now, instead of it being just CBS, they're going like the Disney Plus route where, because Disney Plus has, Marvel, Star Wars, it has Nat Geo, it has, ESPN, all that stuff. It's all wrapped into Disney Plus. So Paramount decided instead of just having a CBS All Access, it's now Paramount Plus, which is going to include CBS, MTV, BET, Comedy Central, Nickelodeon, Paramount Network, as well as all the Paramount movies. Okay. So I found out, did a little digging. So Paramount Plus streaming starts this Thursday. It is the fresh new face for CBS All Access. It will cost $10 a month to be ad-free, and then I think it's like $5 or $6 if you want ads. When it launches on Thursday, it'll launch in the U.S. and 18 Latin American countries simultaneously. It will feature live news and sports. So that's something, you'll get all the CBS sports, as well as on-demand shows, movies, including originals, all leaning into the parent company of Viacom CBS. So like I said, CBS, MTV, BET, Comedy Central, Nickelodeon, Paramount Network, and all the movies. They also announced that they're taking a page kind of out of the what's DC doing, the HBO Max / the Disney Plus model, where they're going to release movies that had just come out. Now, where Disney Plus is doing some of the movies with their premiere access, whatever, and HBO Max is like doing all the movies day and date of theater release, Paramount's kind of in the middle, where they're saying most of our movies will go straight to Paramount Plus after a brief cool down. So the fastest being about 30 days. So the soonest a movie will go from theaters to Paramount Plus streaming service will be 30 days. some will be 45, and some will be 90.
No.
For instance, because I do want your take on this. For instance, A Quiet Place 2, which is scheduled, is coming out this year, will be scheduled 45 days after theatrical debut. Other films in the calendar will probably be similar. So, like, we're talking Mission Impossible 7, Top Gun Maverick, movies like Snake Eyes, Jackass 4, Paw Patrol the movie, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the new Scream reboot that they're doing. All of these are confirmed to arrive in 2022 following a similar structure of either 30, 45, or 90 days. So that's also, I did find out, as a side note, they're currently in development. Paramount Pictures is developing new shows and films based on beloved franchises, including, or I should say properties, not franchises, but beloved properties, including Love Story, Fatal Attraction, Flashdance, The Italian Job, The Parallax View, Paranormal Activity, and Pet Sematary. Those are all things being rebooted in some form, either movie or series, for the new Paramount Plus. So there you go. That's all the information. I'm interested. What are your chat? What are your thoughts? Let us know. And Radar, let's start with you. What are your thoughts?
I think it's dumb.
And moving on to the next story.
Well, no. Okay, hear me out on this one. Okay.
All right.
You've got other companies that they're trying to follow their model, right? And we kind of talked about this a couple different times now, of that I don't even know how many theaters are going to survive the rest of the pandemic.
Sure. If you're not part of like the big three, probably not many. Yeah,
honestly. And then so you've got, this has kind of been happening since HBO really came out when I was a fucking kid. I remember my dad, he's like, well, I'm not going to fucking go pay money for this. I'll watch it when it comes. I can watch it on my TV.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And and it's been proven now that people will pay an additional fee to either rent or subscribe to a better service that will give you the film. If they would say their cool down period was 7 days or 14 days, that might work. But if you're gonna try to, I'm sorry, I'm not waiting fucking 90 days for Jackass. You know what I mean? Like, or the fucking Paw Patrol movie. Like, right. And even Top Gun, dude. I'm excited about Top Gun. I think Top Gun's gonna be a good film. But 90 fucking days, fuck you. I'm not paying extra money for that. And that's the type of film that they're gonna want you to wait 3 fucking months. No, sorry about it, dude. In 3 months, I can see it in the theater and probably buy the DVD. You know what I mean?
Like, that's true.
So I think that they're coming into an already crowded market, right? They're trying to kind of justify their space, and they're going to charge more money. I honestly, I don't think I'd pay. Me personally, I'm not going to subscribe to it, because I already have a plethora of between Disney Plus and Amazon Prime and Netflix and Hulu. Those are the services that I have on my televisions in my house that we watch regularly. I am already struggling to find time to watch what I want to watch. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm not going to pay an extra dime.
Yeah.
For another one that really doesn't really offer me anything that I can't get everywhere else.
And another thought too is, we've been talking about this for a while, and I know I'll die on this hill that I don't think Netflix is going to last. I don't think they will. Because if every company is going to make their own streaming network, they're going to pull all their rights out, and Netflix is going to be left with, okay, we've got 3 original shows.
Right. But I don't know, dude. I think, but even if Netflix doesn't, we'll say Netflix goes. Amazon's staying.
Oh, yeah. Amazon ain't going nowhere.
Hulu's doing good because they have some of the newer stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And Hulu's in bed with Disney, too, so they're part of the same company.
Yep. So, I mean, between Disney Plus, Hulu, and Amazon, you can take Netflix, honestly.
Yeah. Well,
and the things that I would miss from Netflix aren't like, Netflix isn't my go-to generally.
Right.
Right? Some of the stuff that the kids want to watch and the wife, that stuff is on Netflix and they're all about it. Right? But generally to me, most of mine is Amazon Prime or Disney Plus. Those are the two that I kind of go to the most. And even when, especially when my daughter's here, my 4-year-old, D plus, and the stuff that my wife and I watch together, Amazon Prime. You know what I mean? And we watch a lot of kind of like weird content on there too, like little history stuff, and like fucking the History Channel. Honestly, the history ball, kind of stuff. I mean, and that comes with a cable TV subscription, right?
Yeah.
Well, you still got a lot of. I don't know. I just don't see it being like. I think they're really trying. They're going to try to carve out a niche in an already crowded market, and they're going to want to take a market share away from people who are already established, and short of pulling all of their content off the other. I think they'd be better off. They'd be better served if they would just get their royalties from the other services that are already using their equipment, their shows. Yeah. Honestly, that's the way. I think that if they would have been in this, if it had been a year ago. If it had been a month pre-Rona and they released this and came out with that, I think they might have had a fighting chance. I don't think it's going to be worth it to them in the long run.
I mean, and you can already see that they're panicking because they're retconning CBS All Access. So CBS All Access only came out, a year ago, 2 years ago, max. And for them to already be rebranding tells me that they're like, I mean, it's easy. It's either they're all in on it, where they're like, man, this is going so well, let's just go all in on it, which I really don't think that, I mean, who here is like, oh my God, I love that CBS All Access show. I mean, who among us, but I think it's just, they're scrambling. They're like, man, Netflix is killing it. Amazon Prime's killing it. Hulu's killing it. Disney Plus killing it. HBO now is I have to say, HBO is actually stepping up their game. So yeah, they're like, well, we need to get a piece of that action. And I get trying to get a piece of that action. Yeah. I 100% get that. And I'm not even trying to hard on them for that one. I just think they really, really need to reevaluate where they're sitting, because I don't think that the piece that they think they're going to get is not what's actually going to come to them, because they don't have the content, dude. They just don't. They just don't. What does Paramount have right now that's coming out? You're like, I have to see. Outside of the movies, which, like we said, you could just go see in the theater for a cheaper price.
Especially if it's going to be a 3-month fucking wait. No, sorry about it.
So outside of that, they don't have anything yet. And they're going to have to lean, like I said, they're going to have to lean on those properties they own. What we say, Love Story and Paranormal Activity and all these others, old franchise / IPs that they have. Yeah, I got it. We all got it. You done yet?
That's
no, yeah, I think you're right. I don't think they have the brand to push out the kind of stuff. HBO owns DC and all these other things. Disney owns Marvel and Star Wars and all these other things, that they can just keep milking that cow. They can keep producing content. But really, what are you going to do with Paranormal Activity other than, you're going to make that a series? Like, what are you going to do with Love Story other than remake the movie? Like, there's just not much there. There's not enough meat on that bone to last the feast, if
no,
to use a
really
terrible
don't.
analogy.
But honestly, okay, look back, we'll say 5 years ago, Disney didn't have that. You know what I mean? They went out, they acquired the content.
True right? enough.
And they put some big money down, and now they're seeing those returns.
Yeah.
And Paramount's kind of been, I don't know. I don't even know if there's anything out there really for them to buy that they could reinvent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really for sale. What could they buy that could really get them? I mean,
yeah.
Like I said, if they just keep their content on Netflix and whoever else, keep your fucking. I don't even. What even sitcoms are on CBS anymore? What's on CBS? I don't even. I can't think of any. I don't.
It wasn't. I think Big Bang was on CBS.
Was Big Bang on CBS?
Was it? Or no, it was NBC. No, CBS. I want to say it was CBS.
I don't. Maybe
some of the biggest, shows have been on CBS in the past.
They got 60 Minutes, I guess.
They got that. I was gonna say, look at like Skybound and Image as a comic line. They're not really bought out by anybody yet. Like, if they could get exclusive rights on like Robert Kirkman stuff, you could make some good shows and stuff out of that. But you've got Invincible, which is Robert Kirkman's story, going to Amazon. You've got Walking Dead already owned by AMC. I mean, they a lot of Frank Miller's stuff is already out there with Preacher and those kind of shows. Yeah, I mean, there's you're right. There's not a lot of. I don't know what Paramount can bring to the table as far as having their own network. They're going to have to rely on the live news, the live sports, which again is only going to be CBS Sports. It's not going to be like, oh, you have, I don't know, NFL Network or whatever. It's just going to be CBS Sports. But yeah, they're gonna struggle for content. I agree with you. They're gonna struggle for content. But then again, I've never felt like CBS was aimed at people like us. I don't know if you've ever felt that.
I still really feel like it's aimed towards my parents.
Yeah, the older. I mean, they got golf. They got the 60 Minutes, and and the thing, like, it never felt outside of like when they would have like that nice tight comedy block on like a Thursday night. They'd have like that 2-hour comedy block that had, again, it felt more aimed at you watch 2.5 Men. It's not aimed at kids or young people. Like, that's an older person show. Or you know who that genre, all CBS in general, you know who it's aimed at? Who's that?
Ice and his generation. You know what I mean? Like
Ice and Kaz is what you're saying.
Ice and Kaz are like, fuck up. Like, nah, dude. Sorry about it. And my kids are like, what's a cable?
What's a cable?
But I mean, like, I don't know, dude. I just don't see it. And same with NBC. All of the networks. I think the networks are better off just kind of staying out of it.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like, and they put out good shows. I think some of those shows are good. I mean, like that rock show, Young
Rock, I think it's called.
That's actually not a bad.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I saw the first 2 episodes. Not bad.
I didn't watch all the second episode because it kind of like, I don't know. We didn't have any kids. So last weekend was our anniversary. We got married on Leap Day, so we don't really have like an anniversary day. So we kind of just, and the kids were all gone. We booted the kids up like, bye, see you, and we're fucking. We had,
yeah, you are.
And so we kind of, I don't know, it was like, hey, what, let's watch some TV. Let's just chill out for a little bit. We watched WandaVision actually on Friday when it came out.
Nice.
Not like first thing in the morning like you fucking do, but
yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, I have to work.
I mean,
you want work, dude? You're going to see it. Like, I'm a fucking work, dude. Sorry about it. But anyway, no, but we watched a little bit of it, and then it's like, we should probably go to bed. So because it was like late. And so I didn't watch all the Young Rock, but I mean, it's not a bad show, and some of their stuff isn't horrible, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. How do I want to put this? It's not the kind of show where you sit down and just binge watch it.
Yeah. Mike says they got the CBS has the Star Treks. That's kind of the popular thing, is, I guess, if Star Trek is even still popular. Is it even still popular? I feel like it's kind of,
maybe. I'm sure there's going to be that niche that is going to love it. But okay, but even that, you're trying to get Star Trek to hold up a streaming service like Marvel has for Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't put those two on the same. You can't put those two on the same field.
Yeah.
They're Star Trek is just trying to punch up against, CBS like my nuts. That's right, Christian Green. Fuck them. But I mean, Star Trek just isn't going to carry a banner like that.
Yeah. No, I agree. Some more news I got for you, because it's your absolute favorite topic. What's your favorite topic to talk about?
Tiger King.
Carol fucking Baskin. That's right. So I have some unfortunate news. Florida animal activists. Sorry, let me try this again. Florida animal rights activist Carol Baskin has rejected offers from Netflix to appear in the second season of the upcoming Tiger King documentary. Shocker. I know it's shocking that after, putting her dirty laundry out in front of millions of people, she's not interested in coming back for a second season. She's gone on record saying that she felt the original documentary represented a betrayal of the subject, presenting them as objects of mockery and a group of potentially deranged criminals. Yeah,
in all fairness, she was an object of mockery. Like,
I mean, so
in all fairness to her, that's basically all we've done is make fun of that
basically.
But you can't kill your husband and not be made fun of.
Well, you don't expect it to be made a documentary of. Think about it. When was the last time you killed someone and then you were like, you know what? They'll probably make a documentary about this someday.
I mean, maybe.
Most of my victims, I would say. So she said on a radio, I think she did a radio interview, and she said it was just a few weeks ago that the director, Rebecca Chacklin, had reached out asking if we could clear the air. She said, I've been speaking about how we had been so misled into thinking this was going to be like Big Blackfish, that documentary about the orcas, but for, big cats. And then it turned out to be the freak show that they produced. So when she said she wanted to clear the air, I felt like that's just absolutely ridiculous. It was so obvious that I had been betrayed by them. Why would she ever think that I'd be willing to speak to them again? So I told her, lose my number. So, yeah. And we talked about, we talked about that, how could they make a season 2 with Joe Exotic in prison, and we kind of foretold that Carol wouldn't want to be involved after what happened. So how could they do a season 2? And I like, we talked about it, but I've been thinking about it. I'm like, okay, all the stuff about Joe Exotic being in prison, all the stuff about the pardon, all the stuff about him losing his property to Carol Baskin. All the stuff about how these, are Doc Antle's arrest and his harem, and all the stuff about how, the celebrity, all of a sudden these guys, dude, remember the dude that had all the methed out teeth that only had like 3 teeth left in his face?
Yes.
Like, he's got a full smile now. He had complete retroactive refitting surgery, so he's got a full healthy smile now.
That's unfortunate. Well, that was what made him funny, was him being shirtless with no fucking teeth. Why would you want teeth after that, dude? Just get a can of corn and pop one in there now and again, and we'll just fucking get a can of corn and some chickens. That's all you fucking need, man. Sorry about it with your 3 fucking teeth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever.
So
I don't even know if I'm probably gonna watch it because I like dumpster fires.
You have to watch it. Yeah.
I can't believe Carol Baskin doesn't want to be on there.
Shocker.
Well, don't hurt the fucking husband and we'll feed him to tigers, and then people make fun of us. Well, no shit.
Well, the funny thing is, she said, I read another thing she was talking about. She said that she was used to people gossiping about the whole situation. Like, she was used to it, but that it was kind of in a vacuum, right? It was only the people around her. It was only the people in their community. But like, this put her on a global spotlight.
All of the people that she like hung out with made fun of her for killing her husband. And then she's like, well, maybe if I get on a show about killing my husband, people will think I didn't kill my husband. What the fuck is wrong with this bitch?
I don't
get it, man.
I don't know the rationale about how she thought this was gonna play out. So Christian says, if they made a season 2 and it was just Joe Exotic talking shit about Carol Baskin, I'd watch the fuck out of it.
Oh, yeah. If that's all it was, absolutely.
Oh man. No, this is it's crazy. I mean, it's absolutely bonkers, the whole situation.
How does she not think that we don't care? That we love Carol Baskin and everything she stands for, and I think that
I rooted for her in Dancing with the Stars. I'm just saying. But yeah, it's one of those things, man. It's one of those things that you I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what she was thinking was gonna happen by putting all this out there. Everybody's just gonna be like, oh, poor lady. I hope they find her husband and prove her innocent. I don't know. I don't know what she thought was gonna happen.
Yeah, we're sitting here talking shit, and then all of a sudden, like, her husband like pops up, like, "Hey guys, I heard you guys looking for me." Like,
in season 2's mystery surprise guest, they find
awesome.
the husband.
What if Carol Baskin, is actually the villain in WandaVision?
She's the surprise. Okay, she's the surprise villain. Okay, sure. All good. So some more news. Moving on. Because we're running short on time this week.
20 minutes, 19 minutes.
Some more sad news. Some more sad news for geeks, for those that like pop culture and are tuning in. Some more sad news. Once again, San Diego Comic-Con has been canceled. The in-person event that usually runs from like July, late July, August, whatever. Yeah, this is, last year, obviously, COVID, they had to shut it down. It was the right thing to do. First time in 60 years or so that they had ever not done Comic-Con at San Diego. Well, they're doing it again. Unfortunately, because, things are still the way they are. I was hoping we'd be done with the news on what's getting canceled and postponed, but here we are. It's something getting canceled / postponed. Now, they did say they're going to do a Comic-Con at home version. So July 23rd, 24th, 25th, you'll be able to tune in live online and watch panels and a bunch of, trailers. And they'll do the same stuff they usually do, release a lot of the cool stuff, but it's not the same. It's not the same. So they'll be doing that July 23rd, 24th, 25th. They did mention that they're going to try to do an actual in-person small San Diego Comic-Con, hopefully in November. So there'll be like a 2-day, 3-day event. There's been no official details have been released yet, but they're saying they're aiming for November. So if you're the kind of person that goes to Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, and you're bummed out that they won't be doing it in July, fingers crossed they're going to do something in November. So it is what it is, but at least they're giving us something at home. So if you're a guy like me, I'll be right here in front of my computer and watching, the trailers, the behind the scenes stuff, the images, the conversations with the cast and crew and the director. I'll be watching all of it, and I'll let you know what comes of it if you don't want to sit there and watch it yourself. That's what we do here.
Right.
That's
what you do.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's exactly what I do. Did
you see that story I sent you? Do we have time to talk about that?
Which one?
I sent it to you like a couple minutes ago.
Oh, yeah, the Bill Burr thing.
Yeah, Bill Burr.
Yeah.
I was like, Bill Burr.
Bill Burr, yeah, man. He came out and defended that co-star Gina, I can never pronounce her name. Gina
Yeah,
Gina Carano. Carano? Yeah, Gina Carano. There we go. Close enough. Sure. He defended Gina Carano, saying that she's a sweetheart. She's awesome. She's lovely. And here's the thing. I don't think anybody was saying she's a mean person, evil person.
But did you see what he said about, like, now he feel like he has to watch what he says on his things?
Yeah.
Because I know he does a podcast every day.
Yep.
There's a Bill Burr podcast.
Yep.
And
he does a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've heard his podcast or not.
It's not PC.
No.
It's not G-rated.
I don't know if you've ever seen Bill Burr stand up,
yes,
but it's not what you'd call PC.
Yep.
Or his shows. And nothing that Bill Burr does is PC.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So how do you feel as a comedian?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I'm guessing that the Mandalorian probably pays him a pretty penny.
Oh yeah, you're a sub character that's appeared in like 2 episodes. You're not getting paid.
But
bank.
okay, would you risk losing that gig? I don't even know if there's anything more coming from it. I mean, they're gonna keep coming back to some characters, but would you? How? Okay, well, we won't even say like necessarily him, right? But if you have a gig like that that's paying you pretty handsomely, but you also have these other things that you've done for years, right? Bill Burr has said the same shit, the same kind of things have fallen out of his face for 10 years that I know of.
Yeah.
Right? Disney Plus or whoever hired him knowing the content that comes out of his face.
Sure.
Right? And now he's kind of forced to watch what he says.
I mean, that's coming from him. Remember, that's
conversely, okay, opposite. Gina says certain things, gets herself fired, but then Bill Burr can say the exact same shit on his podcast.
Well,
you see what I'm saying? Like,
I mean,
there's kind of a duality there, in my opinion.
Is he really saying the same shit though? You have to compare apples to apples.
Verbatim, but he's said some. I haven't listened to his podcast for a couple weeks, but I'm sure if I listened to it today, he said something that would probably hurt somebody.
Sure,
that's just Bill Burr and the way he is.
Sure,
right?
Absolutely. So, no, agreed. There are people that are going to say controversial things. You look at Daniel Tosh. You look at Anthony Jeselnik. You look at Bill Burr. You look at I'm trying to think who's like super Andrew Dice Clay. Guys who are just on that edge of like this is either gonna go real well or I'm gonna get fired or arrested or banned or whatever. I agree with everything you've said. Bill Burr being hired, knowing the kind of stuff he says. I as a comic. As a person who does comedy, as a person who is comedian, I'm not referring to me, I'm referring to Bill Burr, but as a person who does, that there are certain things you can get away with, there are certain things you can't get away with, and there are certain things that if you've built a career around it, no one is shocked anymore when Daniel Tosh says some fucked up shit because he's built his career on that. Or Howard Stern says some crazy stuff because he built a career he created the shock jock. When you're just an actress or just the director, I don't think it's fair to be judged differently, but I can kind of understand it too. This whole cancel culture stuff. It's not easy to wrap my brain around it because I do get, if you got some guy spouting off the N-word and saying, the Holocaust was fake and things like that. It's like, yeah, you shouldn't be allowed to have a soapbox to stand on. But at the same time, if you're just saying things that people don't agree with and getting so-called, cancel culture over it, like some guy says, oh, women shouldn't be paid the same as men. And like, well, we definitely can't give him a show now. And it's like, I mean, that's just the guy's opinion. You know what I mean?
Right, but but in direct context of this, right? Mandalorian. I'm sure they had actors lined up,
sure,
to play all of the roles,
sure,
right?
Absolutely.
Knowing Bill Burr, I'm sure somebody in the interview process was like, he's got some fucking crazy shit. You know what I mean? And he was not cast into that role to be funny.
Nope.
He was not cast into that role to be a comedian or to play the part that is traditionally Bill Burr. Right.
Agreed.
So they must be okay at some level with that sort of curtness.
Well, and here's the thing too. Disney is notorious for you sign NDAs, you sign documents, you sign policy, a procedure thing. And let's be honest with Gina, she didn't say something and get fired. She said some stuff, got reprimanded. Said some other stuff, got reprimanded. Said some other stuff, got reprimanded. And after the fourth or fifth time, they're like, yeah, you're fired. So it's not like she said one thing, ruffled some feathers, and got canceled. This is, you look at any of the articles, they talk about it's a repeated offense. It's a repeated behavior. She's not, not apologizing, not whatever, which I'm fine. If that's your stance and you're okay with that, that's fine. You know, if I, as a person, walked into my job and said, she shouldn't get paid the same as me, she shouldn't get it because I'm a man, she shouldn't, and I get fired, like, nobody's going to come to my defense. Nobody's going to be like, well, you know, it's, even though it's my opinion, but it's you're broadcasting it out there. Then that's your opinion. That's your opinion. You don't have to spread the gospel of it. Nobody should have to worry about the things that they say getting them fired. You shouldn't have to. But on the other hand, I know there's things I can't say to my boss if I don't want to get fired. I know that.
There's certain things that we can't say on here, and we're not even getting paid.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so, but it's a common courtesy, and generally those are words that I don't use anyway, or opinions that I don't have anyway.
Right.
Right. But what I'm saying is, there's also, like, if you could say all kinds of bad words, right? And do whatever the fuck you wanted to do. I mean, we can say bad words, but there are words that we cannot say.
Sure.
Or, you know what I mean? And if you go off on a tirade and you do that every fucking week, right?
Yep.
And then I say it once or twice and I get reprimanded. Then I get reprimanded. Then I finally get fired.
Yeah.
For doing essentially the same thing. Or maybe, like I said, not verbatim, but real similar.
I mean,
some of the stuff Bill Burr says is pretty similar to what she tweeted, right? Some of it.
I mean, maybe. I think the one that really, really got her in trouble was the comparison to what was it? The comparison of what Republicans were going through to like what Hitler Germany's did with the Nazis with the Jews,
right? And
it was like,
well. Yeah, basically, dividing the people and making someone an enemy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which was not, I don't know.
There's no reason anyone needs to bring up, comparing with the plight of the Jews in Nazi Germany to anything ever, to anyone ever, anywhere, because there's no comparison.
Right.
It's like saying, man, I didn't get my coffee today. It's like,
I don't want to get all political on it, but as a historian, she just kind of pointed out what they made them the enemy.
Yeah.
Right. And then built on to what happened. I mean, that was the first step.
Yeah.
Right. And so as looking at it as a historian, as someone looking at the historical perspective, she wasn't completely wrong. Do I think the conclusion that she drew from that initial step was wrong? Yes, absolutely I do. But I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you. Anyway, we're not gonna solve it. We're not gonna solve this, or get to the bottom of it tonight. But
we have a couple minutes. I want to look at this one real quick. It's Matthew Johnson. He can't feel his nut.
Yeah, I was just looking at Matthew. I feel the loss of my right testicle once I guess they botched my vasectomy, then a medical discharge to follow without disability or service connection for said operations. That's a WTF moment for a 3 combat tour Cavalry Scout veteran. Yeah, man.
That's a VA thing. Okay, so who did your thing? Was it the Army? Did the Army do your vasectomy, or was it the VA, or was it did it happen while you're on? I mean, because obviously I've had a vasectomy, right? And I got medically retired. Different things.
Yeah.
But that's not unless you did it in Iraq. So the Army did it, and I mean, fuck, dude, you can't sue them. I don't know, they were changing that.
Yeah, that's jacked up, man. I obviously we're a pop culture show that talks about comic books and movies and video games, but I think you reach out to the main page, man. Send us a message privately, and we can maybe get you in touch with somebody. I know
they said not their fault. I mean, yeah, but they shouldn't fuck up your shit, dude.
Yeah. A jacked up vasectomy is no laughing matter, and that's messed up.
Sucks, but yeah, if you
hit us up, man. We'll try to get you connected to the right people.
I'm gonna get the radio page set up, like the email or the text for them. Shit.
Yeah.
I just close that fucking tab because I'm dumb.
But yeah, we got you, Matthew, man. We'll reach out to us and we'll see if we can't get you to the right people that can help you. Cause that's not right, and that shouldn't be the case. But yeah, I do have to cut us short this week because I've got to jump over to. If you guys are there, if you really, I highly recommend this. I'm gonna jump over in 5 minutes to Instagram Live. Seth Herzog put his name up in the chats. Seth Herzog. He is a phenomenal comedian based out of New York. He has a show that he does online Tuesday nights. So why don't I jump over and do that? I'm trying to put the there it goes. Let's see if that works. It wasn't working before. So yeah. So there he is. Hashtag Seth Herzog. Thanks, Kaz. Kaz got my back. Yeah, for some reason it's not letting me send messages, which is strange. But all right. So yeah, Radar, man. I know it's a short show this week, man, and I'm definitely looking forward to getting your take next week. We'll do a nice 2 hours typical show. We're gonna get big reactions. I want people to call in next week and get reactions from what people thought of WandaVision.
Because we got the finale. We got the finale
this week, and we'll talk about it absolutely next week. Yeah, I just got the ping, man. We're set to go. So guys, if you want to jump over to Instagram, or I think you can watch it on Facebook. I don't know how it works, man. I don't know how this shit works. All I know is I'm gonna be on Seth Herzog's Instagram show live in the next few minutes. So thank you guys for tuning in this week. We'll see you guys right back here next week. Peace.